Ako si Attorney Darwin Cañete, and my program is Pugad Vloggers, aired every Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. dito sa Radyo Bandido, simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. on Sky Cable, Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and our official YouTube channel. Nood po kayo!
Pugad Vloggers, ang kurap titirisin, salot sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers. Pugad Vloggers.
Ayan, good evening mga kapugad. This is Attorney Darwin Cañete. Ako po ang hosting nyo ngayong gabi dito sa Wednesday edition ng Pugad Vloggers. And I have a very special treat for you tonight mga kapugad, because we are honored with the presence of a very, very important achiever and accomplished person. No? Meron din tayong konting class sa programa natin kahit papano at nakakaimbita tayo ng mga katulad nitong mga guest. I will introduce him po. Medyo mahaba ho yung kanyang CV, but I will pick the highlights na pang-impress sa inyo. Our guest is of course almost 50 years in the areas in architecture and planning, no? Napaka extensive po ng kanyang background sa ganitong profesyon. Siya po ay may mga doctorate. Umaabot to sa ganun ang level ng kanyang achievement in terms of academe. Siya po ay well known in more than 20 countries as a lecturer in architecture and urban planning. No, he has including Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Harvard University. Yun, he's a member of several distinguished organizations in urban planning and architecture, including the American Institute of Architects. Meron din siyang kasama sa American Planning Association. Napakarami po. And he's of course he is the head of this well-known firm in the Philippines called Palafox and Associates. Let me welcome to our program ho si Architect Felino June Palafox Jr. Sir, good evening po sa inyo. Yon. Oy, nako sir. Medyo sa audio. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for the generous introduction, and glad to be here, Attorney Darwin Cañete, and glad to share.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. For those who are nakatira sa mga bundok at hindi alam ang pangalan ninyo, I would ask you, sir, na what do you do, sir, as a profession, and konting background sa inyo aside from those of what I mentioned briefly.
Ano po, I'm an architect, so nag-design kami ng mga buildings.
Opo.
And then urban planner din, nagpaplano kami ng cities, communities, neighborhoods. Yung mga buildings ginagawa namin, from high-rise buildings to low-rise buildings, place to live, workshop, dine, learn, and worship, with healthcare and wellness centers, with some recreation and 24-hour activity centers. So, nakagawa na tayo 1,800 projects in 40 countries.
Wow!
So, nagsimula akong international career ko, yung pagpaplano ng Dubai from a desert town to a global city today.
Wow! Sir, you are also known as an urban planner. Yung mga hindi nakakaalam nung ganong aspect ng inyong career, ano po yung urban planner?
Nagpaplano ng mga munisipyo, towns, islands, probinsya, even countries. Yun ang urban planning. Yung land use, kung saan ilalagay yung city hall, yung shopping mall, yung hospital, yung mga eskwelahan, at saka mga transportasyon like railway, highways, bicycle lanes, and all of that, pati mga water transport. And there are 20 kinds of urban transport nga. First mode ng transportation is walking.
Mm.
Pangalawa, biking. Then, different kinds of public transit, public transportation. Uh, so, natulungan na natin 40 countries. Mas focus na tayo sa Pilipinas ngayon.
Sir, sa Pilipinas, of course, you are well known as an architect. Have we passed by any building that you are part of?
Ano po, Rockwell Center. Yung
Wow,
5
Rockwell
Robinson,
Center.
pati master plan. 7 Schumart, 5 Robinsons, Ayala Labang, Ayala Heights, Cebu Business Park, and currently yung San Miguel Corporation, airport-driven Green Metropolis in Bulacan, Bulacan.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have projects abroad. Until now, may 7 project kami sa India. Despite the pandemic, kinuha pa rin kami. And nung March 5, guest speaker ako sa Dubai World Expo, the largest expo in the world so far. Kaya,
Wow.
nakakapag-share and education, experience, and expertise. And 50 years na akong arkitekto, 48 years as urban planner.
Wow. You are, of course, many degrees, doctorates, left and right. Hindi naman ho denied siguro. You're probably well known as the architect in the Philippines, no? And
Liwanag ko. Ang postgraduate studies ako sa Harvard, UP, and then UST. Galing na ako seminaryo, President Mission Seminary, SVD. Kung kilala niyo si Father Jerry Orbos, nagkasabay kami seminaryo. And then, yung ang dami kong doctorates, pero puro honoris causa. 5 yata yun.
Very good, sir. Very good, very good. And of course, you have your own firm. Sarili kayong, you're the owner and probably CEO, board of chairman ng inyong sariling firm.
Founder po ako ng Palafox Associates and Palafox Architecture Group. I'm also their principal architect and urban planner. Bago ko tinayo itong kumpanya, chief architect ako ng Ayala Group, Ayala Corporation.
Wow.
And before that, consultant ako ni Henry C. Sr. ng SM Group. And it was Henry C. who invited me to come home from Dubai. I was the first Filipino and architect in Dubai and the youngest in the team. And pamilya namin, the first Filipino family in Dubai. Then yung pangalawang anak namin, first Filipino born in Dubai, rin siya, urban planner, economist. My eldest daughter is a doctor of medicine, may clinic siya sa Makati Med, and our youngest son, Philip, pangalawang master's degree kinukuha niya sa Prince Edward Island on master's degree in island development planning. And my wife, Elma, MBA graduate, environmental planner, sa economics graduate.
Galing sir, your family is chronic overachievers. Parang sakit na yan lahat kayo overachievers.
Working class po, working class.
Sir, okay, let's look at your design, in your career, sir. Let you pick a project. Tell us a bit about it, sir, in terms of why you design it this way. If you are being asked to plan a building, what is it, your design philosophy, etc. Just to share to our listeners.
We have what we call integral ecology.
Okay.
People first or social equity. It must create jobs and alleviate poverty. And then the environment of planet Earth. Yung mga projects na destroy the environment, hindi namin tinatanggap.
Very good.
Like, I gave out $1 million architect's fee. Kasi may project kami na proposed 6-star hotel in Subic. Yung mga kliyente namin, nakakuha sila ng tree cutting permit. So they instructed me to destroy 366 70-year-old trees. Hindi maamin ng concession ko, binalik ko yung kontrata, $1 million.
Wow.
So, that's the, and then, kasi environment. And then then we can talk about economic goals, profit, and prosperity, without forgetting culture, history, and heritage, and interfaith spirituality. After all, I'm just an instrument of the chief architect up there.
Yes, sir.
Everything we do is for God, country, and planet Earth. Pro Deo, Patria, et Terra.
Mhm.
Hindi ho namin lahat tinatanggap ang projects if they violate our core values.
Mhm. Okay, let's look at some of your projects. You made a few buildings for SM or for Robinsons, for example. Anong highlights ng mga na-build nyo po sa kanila? What was yung mga nadaanan namin, for example, for those big
Yeah.
corporations?
Yeah, yun nga. It should be handicap friendly, for instance, wheelchair ready.
Mhm.
Or it should be security by design. So there are more eyes on the public space.
Mhm.
Mga kriminal, takot when there are more eyes on the public realm.
Mhm.
Pati mga ginagawa namin mga master plan communities, we discourage solid walls. Kasi napag-aralan namin sa Harvard, concrete walls, criminals are not scared. They can throw grenade, commit criminality. Parang nangyari sa Marawi. Yung stone walls, wala nakakala may Shabu factory na pala at saka mga armory inside.
Yes, sir.
There should be visual connectivity. Kaya
Yes.
hindi dapat linabak yung visual connectivity. In fact, criminals daw are more scared of windows because behind the windows there are potential witnesses. Kaya mali yung ano dito na you put high walls, better security. Napag-aralan sa mga pag-aralan sa Harvard sa American Planning Association, yung mga high walls in Miami, there are more heinous crimes. Ngayon, ang security pa natin, akala natin concrete walls. And concrete walls, walang cross ventilation. Kaya mainit yung mga syudad natin, mga neighborhoods natin because of the concrete walls. Kaya maraming na implement abroad na nakinig sila sa amin pero parang mas challenging sa bayan natin. Pero ginagawa namin ngayon sa Aerotropolis, airport-driven city for San Miguel Corporation in Bulacan, the best practices in the world that it will be a 15-minute city.
Mhm.
Everything you need from your home should be within 15-minute walking, biking, and public transit. And the best practices and design and planning principles, thanks to Mr. Ramon Ang, he allowed us and encouraged us to do green architecture, green urbanism, green engineering, and so on. It should also address climate change, like solar roof, green rainwater harvesting, a lot of trees and landscaping. Na ibang-iba, it will not be like Metro Manila. And design namin doon, it will be around 400,000 jobs.
Wow.
200,000 jobs inside yung plano namin. Then another 200,000 yung mga adjacent LGUs like Nabotas, Ubando, Mekawayan, Malolos, and so on. Then i-connect siya sa MRT7 sa San Jose del Monte hanggang Bulacan sa airport. And it will be the largest airport in our country. Kami rin ang nagmamaster plan ng around the airport of Clark at saka Clark Freeport Zone. In 2004, kami rin ang nagmaster plan ng rehabilitation master plan ng NAIA.
Wow.
Hindi na-implement yung plano namin. Kasi 2004, i-upgrade yung NAIA for the next 15 years habang inaantay mag-mature yung Clark.
Yes, sir.
Lahat 15 years behind implementation. Pero ito sa San Miguel, dahil private sector initiative at no cost to the government, I think mas mabilis gawin yun. Kasi private sector.
Sir, balik tayo sa comment nyo about Metro Manila. The San Miguel, Aeropolis will not be like Metro Manila.
No, hindi ho. Lahat ng best practices in the world, in-implement namin yan, like in 15-minute city.
Yes.
And Metro Manila, ang traffic sa Metro Manila, 3.5 billion pesos a day being wasted sa traffic. 1 trillion pesos a year.
Okay.
And Metro Manila, pagkamali ng Metro Manila, nakatira kami sa Central Business District ng Makati.
Yes, sir.
At the Central Business District of Makati, the daytime population is 11 times the nighttime population.
Wow.
Kasi yung mga empleyado ng Makati cannot afford yung housing ng Makati. So, malala yung mga bahay nila. Kaya nasabi ko nga, mga nagtatrabaho sa mga central business districts natin like Makati CBD, Bonifacio Global City, Ortiga Center, parang yung mga employees, parang OFW sa Metro Manila kasi they are 5 to 6 hours away from their families every day. Kaya,
So yung commute, sir, if you live outside of Metro Manila, it will take you 5 to 6 hours, the average worker, to go to Makati to work and then go home at the same time after the work.
kinompute ko, if you have 40 years of economic life, you would have wasted 10 years of your life.
Wow.
Oo. Kaya kailangan magandang pagpaplano ng mga syudad, mga komunidad, mga munisipyo, and so on. Kailangan, planning is balance. Metro Manila, urban development Metro Manila, imbalance between jobs and housing. Like yung concentration ng jobs and economic activity, yung mga empleyado hindi na ma-afford. Kaya lalayo yung bahay nila.
Yes, sir.
There are 20 kinds of transportation. And most of our developments oriented for the automobile. And yet, kulang pa rin ang mga kalye natin. Kasi nung I was a senior planner and team leader for the World Bank funded Metro Manila Transport Land Use Development Planning Project in 1976.
Wow.
Funded by the World Bank. And that was one of the best metro plans in the world. Kaya nga ako nakilala sa Dubai. Hindi ko alam kung saan ang Dubai. Inimbita ko. Inimbita ko. I was the youngest, the only Filipino among 20 expatriate planners, architects, engineers from 14 countries, mostly Europeans and Americans. So, ako lang yung Southeast Asia at pinakabata sa grupo na at ako inimbita. Pero tinapos ko muna yung kontrata ko sa gobyerno, yung Metro Plan Manila, World Bank funded. Kaya,
So, 1976 pa ito, sir.
I was 26 years old. Ngayon, 72 years old na ako. Many of our recommendations is still suffering from analysis paralysis.
Yes, sir. So, that plan since 1976, this is Metro Manila.
Metro Manila. In fact, it started before Metro Manila Commission. Ang plinano namin, 40 towns and cities.
Mhm.
Kasi scientific ang planning area namin. Kasi yung mga pati Laguna, Rizal, Cavite, Bulacan, and so on, yung workers ng Metro Manila employee, they compute every day.
Mhm.
I-identify namin 40 towns and cities. Then, nung nagkaroon ng Metro Manila Commission, 17 lang ang nilagay. Pero pinalo namin, land use, transportation, development planning. In 1976, sabi ng team namin, maalala ko, na with the do-nothing scenario, kung hindi sundin yung plano namin, 1976, Metro Plan Manila, we will have catastrophic traffic, flooding, lack of decent housing, water supply problem, not prepared for disasters. Sabi namin yan nung 26 years old ako. Ngayon, 72 years old na ako. Pero yung administration ngayon, si PBBM, sinabi niya, balikan lahat yung mga plano in the 70s. And tama nga naman na na-appoint na Public Works Secretary, Manny Bonhon. Kasama ko sa Metro Plan Manila, 1976.
Really?
Yeah. Pero siya, talagang career sa Public Works. It was Department of Public Works, Transportation and Communication. Isang department lang yan. And ang galing ng Public Works Secretary noon, yung founder ng DMCI, David N. Consumhi. At that time, we worked with technocrats. David Consumhi, engineer, Cesar Berata, finance, si Jerry Sicat, NEDA. Then naka-technical consultant din ako sa first export zone natin. Yung Bataan Export Processing Zone, naging consultant din ako. Nagtrabaho rin ako sa Office of the President, si Odi Corpus, for campus planning. Kaya nakatrabaho ko noon, puro technocrats. And yung may grupo noon sa Department of Public Works, Transportation and Communications, reporting to the Secretary, and most of us were scholars. Kaya rin ako nagtrabaho sa gobyerno. I was a full scholar in UP, funded by the United Nations Development Program, University of the Philippines, and the Department of Public Works, Transportation and Communications. So nagbayad ako ng educational bond ko. I was not a political appointee.
Yes, sir.
Kaya contractual lang ako nun. Endo.
Pero Pero looking at the problems of Metro Manila daw, natitrace nyo nga nung 1976, you were planning because
Even before that po.
even
Kasi
before that.
Because yung 1905, in fact, nakita ko, napag-aralan ko yung plano ni Daniel
Burnham, yes.
for Manila, 1905. Linano niya ang Chicago and Baguio, 1909. And sinabi ni Daniel Burnham noon, yung mga boulevards even along Pasig River, hindi nagawa. Ang nagawa lang, yung River Boulevard. Yung Highway 54, 1945 plano yan ng American Corps of Engineers bago tayo naging Philippine Republic.
Yes, sir.
At Metro Manila Sulat, 6 circumferential roads and 10 radial roads. Yung circumferential road number 4, yun yung Highway 54, EDSA, 54 meters wide, kaya it was called Highway 54, built in 1954. Yung circumferential road number 6, yung Duterte administration lang nakatapos. From 1945 yung plano. Tapos yung 10 radial roads, yung road network or transportation system is as strong as the weakest link. It's like a chain.
Yes, sir.
Strong as the weakest link. Yung radial road number 4, that's Pasig River. Hindi pa nagagawa. Kasi ang dami na namin plano na river walks and water transport, connecting yung mga communities around Laguna Lake, make Pasig River navigable, then connecting with the community cities and towns along the 190-kilometer Manila Bayfront. And Pasig River was number 1 worst polluter in the world. Until San Miguel started cleaning it up, dredging up, and spending 2 billion pesos pera, funding ng San Miguel Corporation.
Wow. So, na-dredge yun at no cost to the government?
2 billion ho.
Wow. So,
kaya,
go ahead, sir.
East-West Transportation Corridor, that's the Pasig River Transportation Corridor, hindi magawa-gawa kasi wala makuhang right of way. Tapos yung Pasig River Regulated Master Plan, kami yung master planner yan, mula pa kay President Ramos.
Okay.
So from Ming Ramos to Gina Lopez. Yung sumunod na head, tinanggal ni President Duterte for corruption. Inabolish niya pati yung Pasig River Rehabilitation Commission. I think we produced there more than 3,600 drawings. Sayang, hindi nagamit.
Wow.
So Laguna Lake Front Walk around Laguna Lake with bicycle lanes and linear parks, Pasig River Walk with bicycle lanes and linear park, then Manila Bay Front Walk.
Yes, sir.
And water transport.
So, okay, you mentioned growth corridor east to west, and Pasig River is part of it, sir. So, you also mentioned Pasig Expressway. Doon na tayo siguro papasok, no? What would be what's the rationale for a Pasig Expressway?
Yeah, yan po yung sabi ko nga, the road network transport system is as strong as the weakest link, like a chain.
Yes, sir.
Missing link yung radial road number 4, the east-west transportation corridor. Na-propose na namin yung water transport, hindi naman successful. Na-propose na namin yung river walk, hindi naman nagawa.
Yes, sir.
Corruption, kaya inabolish yung Pasig River Commission. Itong Pasig River Expressway, kinausap kami ni Mr. Ramon Ang and San Miguel Corporation to make it green, sustainable. So this will probably the first planned and designed elevated parkway in the world. A parkway is like a boulevard, major thoroughfare with landscaping. So ilalagay namin doon, hindi lang pang kotse. Meron bicycle highway, pedestrian highway, viewing decks, at saka bus dedicated lanes, public transit, and so on. Kaya yung mga bumabatikos dyan, hindi nila alam yung plano. At
yes, sir.
Hindi itutuo na i-cover yung Pasig River. That was fake news. At naka-elevate yan. Before, on the 2009, I was against elevated skywalks, elevated expressway, until nakita ko yung flooding ng Ondoy. Flooding ng Ondoy, I think sa Marikina was 17 meters above sea level. And 80,000 hectares of urban land was flooded. And you know what's 80,000 hectares of urban land? Malaki pa sa Singapore.
Wow.
71,000 hectares lang Singapore. In fact, Singapore, magkakasya yan sa Laguna Lake. And then, mga proposal din namin noon, after Ondoy, renewable proposal in the mid-70s to dredge Laguna Lake and put the Parañaque Spillway. Hindi
Yes, sir.
nagawa yan. Kaya nung Ondoy, tinawag ko ng Presidente, President Gloria, in-approve niya recommendations namin, pati smart tunnel. Hindi na magawa yung Parañaque Spillway, smart tunnel, parang tunnel, 3 levels. Yung top level could be a roadway, 2 levels. The lowest level would be floodway. Pagka heavy rains, pwede maging spillway, floodway lahat yan. It could have been done in series in 6 years from 2009 to 2015. But yung succeeding administration, kinancel niya yung kontrata with the Belgian.
Yes, sir. Ito yung famous cancellation ni President
Oh.
Aquino, yung sa Belgian contracting firm
Oh.
ng Laguna Lake.
Consultant din kami ng Belgians. Kasi hindi lang naman dredging na. Dapat tanuhin din yung lakefront.
Okay.
And then yung, kaya nga just, before Ondoy nga, I was not in favor of elevated expressways, skywalk, even the LRT. Kami nag-propose ng LRT in 1976 Metro Plan. We should have completed 8 lines by 1992. And 1954, we had one of the best light rail transit in Asia. Because ano rin there are new administrations that cancel out the previous planning initiatives of previous administrations, which is very unfortunate.
Yes, sir. Let's go back to the dredging, sir, of Laguna Lake. Kasi ito yung we are seeing so many floodings now. In fact, just yesterday, President Marcos had to cancel classes and government office because of the typhoon.
Opo.
So, with respect to the canceled Laguna Lake development, Laguna Lake project of canceled by President Aquino, ano sana ang naging tulong nung project na yun, sir, kung sakali?
Babawasan ng flooding. Kasi sinabi ko nga nun, I was even quoted, kasi somebody said yung Ondoy was an act of God.
Yes, sir.
I was in Dubai that time, 5 o'clock in the morning in Dubai, 9 o'clock here. I think it was Jarius Bondok.
Yes, sir.
Architect Palafox, somebody said, Ondoy is an act of God. Sabi ko, no, it's not an act of God, but sin of omission of men and women running our country. Then sabi niya, by the way, you are on the air. Pag uwi ko, pinatawa ko sa Malacanang. Then nakinig si President Gloria sa mga recommendation natin. In fact, in-approve niya. Kaya sinabi ko nga rin noon, na-quote din ako sa media, na Laguna Lake is like a toilet without a flush. Wala yung Parañaque Spillway. Until now, may mga and it's like a big bathtub without a drain. Kasi there are 22 rivers plus the Mangan floodway draining into Laguna Lake. Hindi makalabas yung tubig. And if I remember it right, 4,600 cubic meters per second of floodwaters was coming down Metro Manila and Laguna Lake. And capacity ng Pasig River then was only 600 cubic meters per second. Saan napunta yung almost 4,000 cubic meters per second? It flooded 80,000 hectares of Metro Manila. Yung solution na yan, na-propose pa 1974. Tapos, revived ko in 2009. Kaya nagkaroon ng kontrata with the Belgians.
Yes.
Yung mga Belgians, kinuha rin kami consultant. Hindi kami nabayaran buo dahil na-cancel yung kontrata.
Yes, sir.
Then the previous administration, according to the former Finance Secretary, Sani Dominguez, nagbayad daw the Duterte administration, natalo sa kaso ng almost 1 billion pesos. So nawala na 1 billion pesos, hindi pa rin na-resolve yung flooding around Laguna Lake, Marikina Valley, and so on.
May proposal noon si President Aquino nung kasagsagan ng mga bahay, gawan daw ng underground swimming pool sa UST.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, sir?
Maliit na solusyon lang yun, bandang Sampaloc.
Yes, sir. At more Metro Manila.
Kasi meron ganyan, Burgos Circle sa Fort Bonifacio.
Yes.
Ilalim yan, may rainwater harvest. Parang cistern. Yun ang inupost nila sa below the football field ng UST, yung parade grounds ng ROTC ng araw. Doon pumayag ang UST yata. Pero ano lang yun, small, ano lang yun, band-aid.
Mhm.
For Sampaloc lang yun, not for Metro Manila. Isa pang, double whammy, yung pagka climate change, sea level rise.
Mhm.
I think most of Metro Manila will be flooded, and some reports I hear 4 meters high along riverbanks. So siguro by that time, yung mga skyways and skywalks and maybe even the aerial sky cable car system, baka
Mhm.
yun lang ang magiging transportasyon natin pag nagbaha ang Metro Manila. The skywalk, skyways, and the aerial cables.
Let's go back to the Pasig Expressway. Ano ho yung participation nyo sa planning na yan ng Pasig
Yeah.
Expressway?
Marami hong consultants. Most of the original consultants, yung mga engineering design, kinuha kami to introduce na green sustainable futures
Mhm.
na green urbanism, green architecture, and some green engineering, even green transportation. Green transportation is walking and biking.
Mhm.
With landscaping, I think we will be able to plant 5,000 trees. And marami nang walang open space pinagbebenta sa Metro Manila. If you look at the 1979 Metro Manila zoning ordinance,
Mm.
ang daming open spaces doon. Ang dami nang nabenta. Kasi nung araw, there was only one governor for Metro Manila. So one political will. Ngayon,
Yes.
sa Manila, there are now 17 political wills.
So, okay, okay, ang anong starting point ng expressway hanggang saan po yung current plan?
It's about 19 kilometers.
19 kilometers.
Seven LGUs. The 7 LGUs along the Pasig River, including Manila, Makati, Taguig, Pasig, I think Pateros kasama rin. And in the 70s also, yung Human Settlements Ministry or Department that time, and we're proposing Lungsod Silangan. And nung nasa Harvard ako, one of my term papers was Manila Bay Region, Pacific Coast, Megalopolis. And Megalopolis is several metropolitan areas.
Yes, sir.
And Metropolis, several cities. So, i-connect ang Manila Bay sa Pacific Ocean front. May project kami ngayon sa Real Quezon. And then kasi, ang nangyayari sa urban expansion ng Metro Manila, nangyari na, again, Calabarzon to the south is the wealthier south and the poorer north. Kaya interesado kaming tulungan yung pagpaplano ng Bulacan, Pampanga, and so on. And the forgotten east.
Yes, sir.
Oo. Kasi like the same distance na let's say 2 hours, siguro nasa Tarlac ka na.
Yes, sir.
Yung about the same kilometer going to the east, siguro 4 hours.
4 hours.
Kasi wala masyadong infrastructure, walang road transport, mass transport, wala.
Yes, sir.
Like yung security guard namin sa Palafox, sa Talim Island siya nakatira, 4 hours daw, one way. 4 hours. Kaya yung I call it not just Parex, Parex Parkway. Again, a parkway is a major thoroughfare with landscaping. And kinakausap ko mga empleyado namin nakatira sa Magtalban, all of those, even Taguig and so on, and along Laguna Lake, it will cut down their commute daw by 70%. So yung kung 3 oras, ang oras na lang.
Sir, sir, at what point na tayo, sir, ng Parex? I mean, what is their... Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, nag-detail, pina-finalize ko yung engineering. Ang mahirap dyan, ang daming badmouters.
Yes, sir.
Ang napag-aralan nga namin sa Landmark Forum, ang knowledge pie natin,
Yeah, yes, sir.
a small slice of the knowledge pie is what we know.
Yes,
Another small slice is what we know we do not know. The rest of the pie is what we do not know. Kaya some critics, not all, I think they do not know what they do not know, but they keep criticizing.
Yes, sir.
Hindi nila alam yung radio number 4, yung east-west transportation corridor na walan ng dapat ang both sides of the Pasig River may road kasing lapad ng DB Boulevard, Rojas Boulevard. Kasing lapad ng EDSA. Wala nang paglagyan. Pati yung 10-meter river walk na pre-post namin, hindi magawa-gawa. Kasi even Malacanang walang setback eh. Intramuros walang setback.
Yes, sir.
So, by law, there should be setback of 10 meters. So, pre-post namin, kung ayaw mag-setback, cantilever 10 meters para from Laguna Lakefront up to Manila Bay, pwede kang maglakad o magbisikleta. Ang dami namin plano dyan. Kaya nung pumasok yung Parex, then gawin namin Parkway, yung hindi magawa-gawa since 1905, may gagawa na at may pondo pa. 94 billion yata. Private sector money, San Miguel. So kung ma-approve yan, ang gobyerno, maraming makikinabang. Siguro yung 3.5 billion pesos wasted in traffic, baka maging 2 billion na lang. Tapos yung mga nagbibiyahe ng co-commute ng 6 to 8 hours a day, baka 2 hours a day na lang sila. Kaya, and yung traffic congestion adds to pollution, air pollution. Ang lahat ng roads ng Metro Manila, may yung mga transportation planners, may tinatawag kami na urban plan, level of service.
Okay.
Ang most of the roads in Metro Manila, including EDSA, level of service F, failing grade. Yung mga skyways, level of service AB. Oo. At saka yung skyway sa ginawa ng San Miguel din, yung hindi nagawa ng circumferential road number 3. Number 1 is from Luneta to Quiapo Quezon Boulevard, up to Recto, Escaraga. Number 2 is yung Nagtahan Bridge area.
Yes.
And then Governor Forbes may USD. Regional Road number 3 supposed to be from Rojas Boulevard, then intersection ng Ayala and Buendia, connecting to Araneta Avenue in Quezon City. Yun ang missing link. So ginawa ng San Miguel, Skyway. Before that length, siguro 2 oras ka ba kung makarating sa Balintawak. Ngayon, na lang, 30 minutes.
Yes, sir. I traveled from C3 coming here dito sa may Sergeant Rivera. Baba ko, sir, somewhere in Naya. It will take me 30 minutes, more or less.
Like yung Skyway to Naya. Nung wala pa yung Naya, ay nako. From Makati, minsan 2 oras ka hanggang airport. Oo. Nung nakatira kami dati sa Alabang, sometimes 2 hours to come to Makati. Ngayon, for me, maybe I should not say this. Kasi overspeeding ako. 19 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Kasi nag-drive pa rin ako pag weekends. Wala kaming driver pag weekends.
Wow.
19 minutes. Ating nakuha ko na ng 15 minutes. Kasi yung mga kalye sa between Dubai and Abu Dhabi,
yes, sir.
Speed limit, 140 kilometers per hour.
Sa atin, 60 lang yata. 100. 60 to 100.
Yung Skyway, maximum 80 yata.
80.
Pero ating takbo doon, 100. You go with the flow around 100. Kasi like EDSA, grabe EDSA. It's now
yes, sir.
a good example of how not to do it. Kasi sa EDSA, it was designed as a transportation corridor. Ngayon, it's a destination.
It's a parking lot.
And pagka Friday payday umuulan, the speed 2 kilometers per hour, mas mabilis maglakad.
Yes, sir.
Funded by, was paid by Asian Development Bank, and marami ng proposal volunteered by our company. 4 levels ang EDSA. Subway, then the upgrade, then of course we have the LRT and maybe elevated the road also, then elevated bicycle lane and pedestrian lane with shops along the way para hindi ka matakot maglakad ng 27 kilometers end to end. Wala rin shops. architectural design vendors, kiosks. So there are again more eyes on the public realm. Kung wala sila, matatakot ka maglatad ng 1 o'clock in the morning. So 24 hours may nagbabantay. Yung mga vendors, they will part of the security system aside from the CCTV camera. Ang dami naming drawings na binolunteer namin dyan. Again, suffering from analysis paralysis. And again, maraming magagalit sa akin kasi ang EDSA functioning as 8 roads, 8 parallel roads.
Yes, sir.
8 parallel roads along gated communities and gated military camps. So EDSA is functioning as a major arterial road, minor arterial road, major collector road, minor collector road, residential access road, military camp access road, shopping center access road, and among many other uses. And yung nagdi-design din tayo yung mga big shopping malls, but elsewhere in the world, regional shopping malls, yun ang size ng mga shopping malls natin along EDSA. They should be 7 kilometers apart. Kaya pinapose na rin, dapat they should contribute na rin ang funding ng elevated walkway and pedestrian lane. Interconnect the malls, maglakad na lang yung shoppers.
Kasi sir, pag midnight sale, nagsabay-sabay doon sa corner na yun ng SM, Star Mall, at saka yung EDSA, Shangri-La, and Robinsons, di na lumalakad yan. 4 na mall, sir, magkakatabi doon sa area na yun. It's a show.
Dapat may mga skywalks, elevated, interconnected, bicycle, elevated bicycle lanes, and so on. Then siguro yung mga vendors na they could probably even rent them yung mga malls. O then mag-reserve siguro 30% for the urban poor vendors, 70% for the wealthier shops, or maybe 50-50. Para hindi naman puro mayaman naman ang makikinabang.
Sir, balik tayo dun sa isa sa mga controversial na lumabas, the statement of Senator Robin Hood Padilla with respect to the alleged, yung parang cable car.
Yeah.
Anong opinion doon?
Hindi ko pa nakakausap, but I support it.
Okay.
Kasi it's faster to construct, cheaper to build, and it doesn't add to the congestion. And like walking and biking, it's environment friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And it will not add to congestion. Kasi yung aerial cable system, it started 1870s or early 1900s in San Francisco. Kasi sa San Francisco, maraming hills interconnected. Nung na-invento yung kotse, inabandon nila yung mga cable cars, even railways in the US. Kasi they were producing cars, exporting cars. Then in, I think, 2014 or 2004, yung Medellin, Colombia, yung mga poor neighborhoods on the hillsides, nilagyan ng aerial cable cars connecting to the job centers downtown. You know? And the pamasahe is 25 pesos per way. And nagkaroon ng access ng mga urban poor to their jobs. And then hindi na ma-traffic ang pagpunta. Tumaas ang income levels, bumagsak ang criminality pati. And in area niyan, Medellin, that was the center ng mga drug lords and so on.
Yes, sir. Hindi ka makadaan from one part of their area to the other because ma-hold up ka.
It connected. And again, the principle of more eyes on the public realm. So there are more eyes on the cable cars looking down. And you are like a bird or helicopter appreciating visually your city. Parang kang naka-helicopter, naka-drone, or parang ibon. And you can see the beauty of the city, and you can also see the uglification of the city. So you can shame those political leaders who are uglifying the city or something. And na-improve even yung uglification, naging beautification, na-improve ang security, peace and order, tumaas ang income ng urban poor neighborhoods on the hillside. Balita ko nga, may request for proposals na sa Baguio. And then may pinapose namin sa Davao. From parts of Mount Apo to Davao City to Samal Island. Pinapose namin yan sa Boracay. connecting Malay, Katiklan, and Boracay. Sky cables there. And then, Ilocos Sur, inaaral namin ngayon, Ilocos provinces, connect with the mountain provinces, Cordilleras. Inaaral na namin ngayon. Kasi pag nagpaplano kayo sa Palafox, comprehensive, from ridge to reef. From the mountains, the highlands, the midlands, the lowlands, and the coastline. Hindi yung disjointed planning, fragmented planning. So we're trying, part of my advocacy is interconnect our fragmented metropolis.
Yes.
Nasulat ko rin sa UP noon, term paper ko sa UP, 1973. Inaral ko, case study ko ang Makati. Nilagay ko sa development is not worthy of the name unless spread evenly like butter on a piece of bread. 1973 ko sinulat yan. Ngayon, tawag nila ngayon, inclusive development. Kasi hindi ko alam na ma-hire ako ng chief architect ng Ayala. Eventually, I was invited and hired by the late Enrique Sober to be chief architect of Ayala Group. But sinulat ko yan when I was 23 years old. Inimbita ako when I was 32 years old after coming back from Dubai. Head of planning ng Ayala Group. And kasi created sa ito yung mga gated communities. Kasi yung Makati, 2/3 of Makati that time is for the very few families, for the gated communities. And 1/3 is for the urban poor. So nakita ko talaga disjointed. And I want to, theoretically, I wanted to connect all of them. Until na advocacy ko yan.
Yes, sir.
Riverwalk, Pasig River, Laguna Lake, Manila Bay. It will interconnect people. And the most democratic, most environment-friendly mode of transportation is walking and biking. And now, aerial cables.
Sir, moving forward, we're looking at Metro Manila as a parang some sort of a creature, parang animal. Where is it growing to? Parang
kasi maraming nabenta na open spaces and parks. Open spaces are the lungs of the city.
Yes, sir.
And the roads and waterways are the arteries of the city. Then the major activity centers like job centers are the hearts of the city, like Central Business District. So Metro Manila needs a lung transfer, a heart bypass, and a heart transplant.
Wow. Meron na, sir, overall vision and has this also already reached the highest levels of our government?
One reason din na ayaw kong maging officer in government. I can't say anything as a honest taxpayer.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes the media put me in trouble when speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sinishare ko sa mga magazine, radio, my speaking engagements.
Yes, sir. Okay, presidents, we had, you were started in the era of President Marcos Sr. Then you have build by President Duterte. Anong opinion sa era na yon ng ating politics?
Yung build, parang a cuts-up situation with the planning proposals, initiatives in the 70s. Like yung Circumference Road number 6. 1945 pa nakaplano.
1945 pa.
Yung upgrading of the light rail transit, 1976. Kasama ko dyan sa nag-propose. And then, so it cuts up situation. And kaya siguro sinabi ni President Bongbong Marcos, build better more.
Yes, sir.
Ang suggestion ko naman, lumabas na sa media, build better verde. Ilan build, but plant.
Yes, sir.
I've been recommending, because of food security, agropolis. Agro, the farm, polis, the city. Urban farming, suburban farming, farming on the rooftops. Reportedly, Metro Manila has 8,000 hectares of vacant land. So I've been proposing maybe in vacant land should have higher taxes because they are being sterilized from productive use. Kung hindi ginagamit, di mag-urban farming ka o gawin mong parking lot habang di mo ginagamit. And many underutilized properties, real estate in Metro Manila, are government properties. Like nung ko pa sinasabi, estudyante pa kami. And when I came back from Dubai, some of the land uses like the military comes along EDSA. They may have been the best land use at the right place at the right time in 1946. But today, they are the wrong land use at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mhm.
Kaya ang dali mag-co-attempt sa Metro Manila eh. Accessible yung Malacanang sa military camps. And Malacanang is a dead end. Nag-propose nila noon yung Menjola Bridge, Menjola Street, yung cross over Pasig River to UN Avenue then or something. Kasi Malacanang is a dead end. And even, you don't have to believe in feng shui, but some feng shui experts telling me it's a dead end, malas daw.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But from urban planning point of view and urban transport, it should be open up. It should be open up para may continuity in Menjola Street. Not just the Menjola Bridge, the small bridge, but Pasig River Bridge crossing over sa ano. There are Office of the President, offices pa din. But there's a road inside. And there are ways of security by design.
So anyway, sir, it's almost the end of our program. It's already 7:55. Ang ganda ng usapan natin, sir. Aliw na aliw akong kakwentuhan kayo, sir. Sir. I leave the word to you, sir, to greet whoever you like and say anything you like. Last few minutes of our program.
Yeah. We should not, just with all due respect, we have so many not stupid. Baka magka-problema naman tayo.
Problema kayo, sir.
So many obsolete laws that
Yes, sir.
less globally competitive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then sana with this new administration, Senate and Congress, they create more creative laws
Yes, sir.
that make us globally competitive. And I have a revolutionary idea in planning and nation building. Why don't we make the Philippines free port, the whole country? So, and like Dubai, walang income tax. Walang problema sa customs, walang problema sa BIR. And yung mga OFWs natin, pwede rin silang umuwi. Tapos yung mga unprotected islands without palis natin for 100 years sa friendly countries, hindi lang one country. Kasi if you rotate the map of the world, the Philippines is right in the middle. It's no wonder we were the Asia-Pacific Hub of Spanish Europe for 300 years, 50 years the Americans, 4 years the Japanese, 2 years the British, and every superpower country will always be interested in our beautiful islands, strategically located in the world. And we are number one in the world in marine biodiversity, number one. We are now number one in BPOs, call centers. We're now number one in sailors, seamen. I'd like to believe we're number one in nurses. We're number two in geothermal energy. We're number two now in BPOs. We have the third or the fifth coastline in the whole world. Dubai, 70 kilometers in waterfront, kaya gumawa sila ng Palm Islands, man-made island,
Yes, sir.
desert, for the largest harbor in the world. We are number 4 in shipbuilding and gold reserves, number 5 in all other mineral resources, and number 12 in human resources. The Filipino expatriate preferred employees all over the world. So we should be in the top 20 economies of the world, but we have to address corruption, criminality, climate change, incompetence, infrastructure, and inequality. Then we should be in the top 20 economies of the world. Then maybe in 20 years, we are a first world nation.
Wow. So much to say, sir, from your so many years as an architect. Galing.
Yeah, and we can borrow from the ruler of Dubai. The rulers of Dubai, tatlong naging ruler of Dubai, they have visionary leadership vision, strong political will, good appreciation of good urban planning, good appreciation of good design like architecture, engineering, and excellent management.
Wow. Ayun, mga kapugad, narinig niyo po ang ating distinguished guest, si architect and urban planner Filino Jun Palafox Jr., who was graciously guested in our munting programa, and I hope you appreciate the nuggets of wisdom and information that you received tonight. Thank you, architect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Ako magpapasalamat sa inyo.
I'm sorry. I think inimbita mo ako 100 days ago before the election pa.
Oo, sir, like I said, better late than never. And of course, sir, anytime, dapat may part 2 pa ito. We'll see, sir, kung may mga issue pa tayo mapapag-usapan.
You just text me, sir. I'll make time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, mga kapugad, hindi ko na kayo nabati dito sa ating thread. I'm sorry to say we ran out of time, but thank you for joining us tonight for the Wednesday edition of Pugad Vloggers. I hope you can join us every day, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. dito sa DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Manood po kayo sa susunod na mga programa, Oras ng Himala and Kakampi with Bernard Tan. Thank you and good night, mga kapugad. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Pugad Vloggers, Pugad Vloggers. Ang kurap titirisin, salot sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin. Ang saya-saya, nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers.